Alright guys, first thing I do is I chalk the wheels on the hauler, and to make sure I don't roll forward or backwards. And even with the park brake on, I like to chalk them, so I chalk both sides. The next thing I do, once I get it chalked, I unstrap my ramps, straps up there, pull my ramps down, get my ramps installed. And then once that's all done, then I bring the crawler out, I line it up with the ramps, I make sure that I'm in a good position. I line my front wheel up with how far over I want to be before I even get on the ramps, and then I make sure that my ramps are spaced accordingly. Now they do bolt to the bed, so there's not a lot of movement, but there is a little bit, so I have a little bit of play once the truck's on. They never do much moving around. So after that, I drive the truck up on. Alright, I get it in position, and I watch this back wheel, and I know when this back wheel, basically when the center line is hitting this crease right here, right where the wood's at, I know that I'm at the distance where my safe distance between me and that windshield there. Now in the future I'm going to build some kind of rack, some kind of headache thing, but for right now it's working out for me. Once I pull the K10 up onto the hauler, I leave it in 4-low, and I set the parking brake on it so that it's firmly planted, and then I get to strapping. I keep my ramps down until I have got the truck secured. Once the truck's secured, I undo my ramps and I slide them back on. Alright, so that's my loading procedure. So let's talk about the straps here. So I have I'm doing this video, and this is not, I'm not doing like I recommend this is how you strap down. I'm just showing how I strap my crawler to my hauler, and you guys can take it with a grain of salt. If you want to give me some constructive criticism, you can. If you guys have any comments, please leave them. So when I first started putting my truck up here, I was kind of doing it all wrong, and then my subscribers reached out. They're like, hey, you know, there's some things you should fix. I did a bunch more research, and this is what I came up with. So these are chain extenders, chain extensions. Basically, they're 4 stake pockets, so the chain goes down up through, hooks around on top, and then you got this hooking through here. Now, why did I use this over a D-ring? Well, because let's say my truck changes. Let's say I decide to get rid of the truck and get a Jeep, or let's say I do something else. I can move these to any stake pocket along the bed, and I'm good to go. So if I had a D-ring, it would be welded, and then I would only have that D-ring. I'd have to weld another D-ring. So these are they were a little bit pricey. I think they're about 20 bucks a piece, I think. But they're pretty awesome. They are the, what is it, the G70. So they are I guess okay for doing this kind of stuff. Now, I had the yellow straps from Lowe's before. They were the same weight rating and the same braking strength as these, 3,333, and then a 10,000 pound braking strength. And I thought that they were an okay strap. They did not have a protector on them, and they didn't have the hooks. So why is the hook, the snapping hook, the hook with the lock, why is this important? So when you saw me hooking up, and I'm going to probably put a little splice in here, but when you saw me hooking up, all I did was I put my axle strap around, I clipped it, let it hang. I clipped this side, made sure my chain extender was where I wanted it and how I wanted it to be, and I clipped it on. And then I was able to hook up, pull, get it strapped without these popping off. Now, the problem that I had with the other ones is they just had a hook. So it was similar to this hook, but it was just bigger. So it was just like, it was just a hook like that. So the problem with those is when you're hooking up, you latch it over there, you latch it here. By the time you pull it through, sometimes it can come loose. Another thing is that, let's say you start going and you know you don't have it tightened down as tight as you want, or the load shifts and you have a little bit of slack in your or a little slack in your strap. Those can come loose potentially, like down here. They could just like slide out of the hook, and then you're not strapped down. So with these here, if you get a little bit of slack, at least it won't come loose from here. This can drop down a little bit, and then it's not going to affect the hook, so you have to actually pull the hook up and out. So this way gives me a little bit more confidence in case something happens to come loose. Now, with using this setup with the axle straps, I'll walk around, show you how my axle straps go around. I'm not sweating this too much, just because it does have the protective sleeve around it, and this is not really like pokey, or it's not like it's going to cut into it. So I inspect my straps after every trip, and they've been holding up okay. I think I've only used them like I think I've only used these like one trip, but I've inspected them. I used them the same way. They were okay. All right, I get around here, and then here. So we've talked about the chain extenders on both sides. You can see where these cross. It's got a nice protector, so if this metal is laying on it, it's just barely touching, but it's not going to chafe the strap, and it's going to hold up. All right, and I like having like a nice long strap going to the front, keeping me from going. I like, personally, I know I'm watching some videos of car trailers where, you know, they snug them up, and that's good enough for them. For me, I pull them tight so you can see how tight it is. So I'm giving a fair amount of pull, and you know, it's tight. You know what I mean? So that's how I like it. Typically what I'll do is I'll just drive like down the street, like down my neighborhood. I'll go over some speed humps, stop at the end of the street, check them, and check my tightness. Now, I have noticed since I've been using the axle straps with this method here that I haven't been pulling, you know, once I drive down the road, I haven't really found the need to tighten them too much, but I do check often. You know, I'll check it when I get down the street from my house, I check at the meetup spot, you know, where we're meeting to head to the trail and all that good stuff, just to make sure there's no issues. So I think it's a pretty safe setup the way it is. This is very secure, and the straps are well within the weight limit. Those axle straps are 10,000 pounds a piece, so I don't think I'm going to have any issue there. So these are the Summit straps. These are a very nice strap. This is my first time using them, but I just wanted to show you my setup, how I strap my stuff to here. And pretty much with this setup here, even with the other straps, I didn't have any movement of the truck whatsoever. I know it looks kind of close, maybe it looks a little scary, but it don't move. So I think if you're strapped properly, you should be good to go. Well, as far as me, I think I'm good to go. I'm not telling you how to strap your load, or I'm not giving you advice. I'm just showing you how I strap mine down. And this is it. So that is all. Until I hit the trail. You guys have a good weekend. Enjoy yourselves. Alright guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to be a part of the carburetorsuck.com garage family, please hit the subscribe button. You guys take care. See you on the next one.